A big talking point after UFC 309 has been about Bo Nickal, and honestly, it's hard to ignore the noise. A lot of people feel like he got fraud checked, even though he won, mainly because his performance left a lot to desire. And here's the thing, I didn't make a video about the fight before it happened, but I was really close. I had this feeling that his fight with Paul Craig would be a lot closer than people expected. Ironically though, that's exactly how it played out. I didn't have the time to make the video because of work, but the way things went didn't really surprise me. I mean, I had a hunch that Bo was gonna struggle, and a big part of that is because he's so green in his MMA career. The guy has only had 6 fights, and because nobody wanted to fight him on the regional scene, he didn't really get much experience. It wasn't until the Contender Series that he got his shot, and even then, they've been giving him safe stylistic matchups that make sense at first. But when it comes to Paul Craig, I figure that things might not be as smoothly. Because Paul is a weird one. He's not exactly great, but he's not outright bad either. He's the kind of fighter who could be brilliant on one night and completely fall apart on the other. He's like the Michael Johnson of the middleweight division, unpredictable and hard to pin down. I knew that this was going to be a step up for Bo, and I couldn't wrap my head around why he was such a massive favorite. In my mind, it was always going to be a competitive fight, and it turned out just to be that. But man, that performance from Bo, it wasn't it. In hindsight, this was a bad matchmaking. Bo is still early in the journey and doesn't have the experience to know how to adjust to someone like Craig, a guard force grappler. This fight felt like something out of 2005, a wrestler throwing a big overhand against a guard specialist, only to end up in a sloppy kickboxing matchup. And even with the win, Bo got exposed for being green, and people are already questioning his legitimacy. And let's be real, that's the kind of criticism that probably stings more than losing. And to top it all off, he doesn't show much in terms of striking. All I saw from him was that same left cross over and over again, bro. Bro, this dude doesn't have hands. That's gonna be a big problem if he doesn't level up, and fast. And look man, the guy wouldn't be getting so much hate if he wasn't on the main card of pay-per-views. He's been taking spots from ranked fighters who actually deserve to be there. Like if they want to push him, fine, let's headline the prelims or something. I'd be cool with that. At least it wouldn't feel like they're forcing him on everyone. But putting him on the main card every time, that's why people are already like fed up with him to begin with. They're shoving him down everyone's throat, and it's making the exceptions for him sky high. And look dude, I get it, he's the big D1 wrestler with all this potential, and yeah, maybe he'll be something special one day. But they're rushing him way too fast. The guy doesn't have the experience yet. His striking is super, and I mean super basic, just throwing overhands and hoping it works. If they keep pushing him like this, he's gonna lose. Plain and simple. Like he barely got past Paul Craig, and yeah, Craig's solid, but he's not known for striking either. That fight just showed how green he still is. They need to slow it down, let him develop properly. Throwing him into these big spots when he's not ready is just gonna hurt him in the long run. Maybe instead of spending so much time hyping himself up, maybe he should focus on improving, because right now, he's overhyped. He does have potential to get really good someday, don't get me wrong, but at this rate, it's just not happening anytime soon. If he can step into the cage with someone like a Hamzat, let's be honest, he would get ragdolled. And no amount of bragging is going to change that. And for the people that are saying, oh, Bo can just use his wrestling, it's high level. Okay, but what happens when he faces someone who can counteract it? This weight class is packed with grapplers now, and the dude has already shown that he doesn't have hands. All he's got is spamming overhands, like a button mashing rookie. He's not going to beat the guys like Drickus or Izzy with that type of approach. Those guys have been training for years and are way more well-rounded. And seriously though, why do his hands still look so bad? You would think with all this hype, he would have put some serious work into his boxing by now. But instead, he just looks awkward in there. If he doesn't figure that out, it's gonna be a massive problem for his career. Striking is crucial in MMA, and if he can't get it together, he's gonna be screwed when he starts facing the top guys of the division. And look man, I get it. The guy has a massive ego because of his wrestling credentials, and sure, being a standout wrestler is impressive, but this isn't wrestling man. this is MMA. It's not about being the best wrestler in the world. It's about how you mix everything together. And right now, he's not showing that he knows how to do that. Until he focuses on becoming a well-rounded fighter, instead of talking himself up, he's just setting himself up for failure. And look, man, Bo isn't helping himself, man. The dude's out here coping like crazy and acting like his performance was solid, getting all defensive about his criticism that he's receiving. He didn't like what DC said about him, claiming that everyone was being too harsh. And I'm just here like, bro, are you serious? People are hating for no reason. It's because he keeps hyping himself up while delivering performances that don't live up to it. And now he's out here insisting that he's ready for a ranked matchup. Like, come on, dude. If he really wants that, maybe you should throw him against Brendan Allen. And look, man, the funny thing is he got fraud checked while still winning, which is honestly ironic as hell. But the worst part, he cannot handle the criticism. If I were Bo, I would stay off social media, stop talking, and just hit the gym. He needs to keep grinding and working on his striking because it's painfully obvious he's not there yet. If he can't learn how to put his hands together with his wrestling, he's gonna struggle. I mean, look at the middleweight division. It's a freaking murder's row right now. You got Dricus, Hamza, Imavov, Izzy, Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez. These are killers, man. The division has improved so much, and Bo's nowhere near ready for that level right now. And look, man, even if he improves and becomes a solid mixed martial artist, I don't see him winning a title or being the dominant guy that he thinks he is. If he's gonna keep running his mouth though, just give him a ring fight he's asking for. Hell, give him Mikel Pereira and let's see how that goes. At this point, he's writing checks that he still can't cash. And look, overall, Bo is just frustrating the fan base even more with everything. His performance, the way he handled the criticism, and the UFC consistently pushing him onto the main cards, it's like a perfect storm for Backlash. His performances aren't great, and yeah, they did the same thing with Sean O'Malley, but here's the difference. Sean was entertaining in the octagon. He was knocking people out. He had a little bit of charisma, and most importantly, he had some experience under his belt. With Bo, I get it. He hasn't had the same chance to build up that experience, but honestly, he kind of did this to himself. The guy has been hyping himself up non-stop, talking like he's the next Michael Jordan of MMA or something. At this point, it's hard to have much sympathy for him. He sets these massive expectations, and now he's struggling to meet them. That's why we're in a weird spot where people are asking, is he even gonna live up to the hype? And like I said earlier, I don't think he will. Even if he does improve, I just don't see him becoming the champion. The division is just too stacked right now. You've got killers like Dricus, Izzy, Hamza, Robert Whittaker, and even guys like Brendan Allen and Anthony Hernandez making waves. Bo's got a long way to go, and honestly, the more he talks and the UFC keeps pushing him, the harder it's gonna be for him to climb that ladder. At the end of the day, it's about more than just potential, it's about delivering, and so far, he hasn't done that, so. But hey, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Do you guys see Bo living up to the hype, or do you think the UFC is pushing him too hard and too soon? And if you could match him up with anyone, who would it be next? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more MMA videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys on my next one.